I'm a woman. I'm honest. I'm honest. And I like to speak up my mind. Do I look like a threat to you? No. I'm a threat? Well, I was a threat in Mexican politics. And they made me to pay the price, and a special price, for being a woman, an honest one that wanted to raise her voice. You know this very well. When you're in the opposition, when you're a political activist, receiving threats, intimidation tactics, harassment, even death threats are part of the job description. But when you are a woman, you have to pay an extra price, an extra fee, the fee of gender-based violence. For me, it started when I was a congresswoman, in Nuevo Leon State, fighting against corruption. I was very keen on doing that. And then I started to see messages in social media, Twitter, Facebook, from fake accounts, saying that I didn't have any value, that I was a decorative object in office. Okay. So then I started to see messages saying that I was like an animal, very noisy, so loud, just like an animal. And then I started to see messages and videos saying that I have many lovers and questioning my morals. Yeah, as they do. So I was in shock. I was coming from the private sector, and I didn't understand what was going on. So I decided to ask, senior political colleagues, what to do in this situation. And they say, Mariela, ignore the messages. They are very common against women in politics. If you are not able to live with this, you're not made for Mexican politics. So I decided just to ignore the messages and keep working in Congress, fighting corruption very decisively, very strongly, because I wanted to show them that I was not afraid and I was not going to be intimidated. And guess what happened? It went worse. One day, I started to receive messages, calls from strangers asking for sexual services. Because there was an advertisement in a website, a popular one, with my real contact information, real and fake photos of me, portraying me as a prostitute. What would you do in my situation? What would you do in my shoes? My family and friends were really, really concerned. They want me to resign to my position as a congresswoman and go back to the private sector. But I thought it was unfair. I was not doing anything wrong. And I had nothing to, be ashamed of. I had nothing to hide. And I thought it was enough. So I decided to do the opposite and start to talk about this, the gender-based violence. I did 3 things. First of all, I built a network with women in private and public sector and NGOs, and we started to talk about this in social media and in mass media, explaining why it was wrong to compare women with animals, women with objects, sexualizing women at the workplace, and deciding women's values based on their relationship to men. We explained that all of these are stereotypes rooted in Mexican culture that are being used to target women that do not comply with this perception that all women must obey, that must be quiet. So we built this awareness campaign, and also I filed a formal report to the authorities showing that this is, there has to be punished. There has to be some action on this, and help other women to do the same, because I was not the only one suffering this. And also, with this network, women network, we promote better laws to sanction these actions. And fortunately, today, they are in place. And they are very useful to sanction this kind of violence in electoral processes. They are now in place. But you know, in Mexico, gender-based violence is still a major concern. As we participate more and more in politics, by the way, in Mexico we have 50% quotas, 50% of all congresses are made of, with women and men. We are in parity. But as more women are participating in politics and economics, there is a complex and violent reaction of part of the society that perceives this as a way of insubordination. And for me, this violence only was bad publicity, bad propaganda that tried to undermine my position as a Congresswoman. But for many women in Mexico, it led to physical harm or even death. In 2021, and these are official numbers, 2021, last year, 80% of women in Mexico felt insecure. And these are real numbers too. Every day from last year, 10 women were killed. It's a serious matter. It's a serious matter. And I'm sharing this with you because I believe that some of these things are also part of the developing world. We share some of these situations. If you review 2 weeks ago the report of the World Economic Forum, it says that it will take 132 years to reach full parity between men and women. 132 years, that's a long time. But fortunately, with your help, it will take fewer years. Fortunately, with your help, we will be able to bring more awareness regarding gender-based violence and build healthier environments for women participation. Hopefully, with your help, there will not be an extra price to pay for being a woman, being honest, and having her own voice. Thank you.